So this is my design matrix. So the first chair is the one down here, the orange one. So it scored pretty all right. It's fairly all right. The highest scoring what it had was the safety, the function, and the comfortability, and the social impact was pretty high, which is good. So then we had the cost and environmental impact and aesthetic as lower. And I put the aesthetic as lower because it's not as appealing to the eye, but it's all right. And for function, it does what it needs to do. And for the cost, the environmental impact, and the sustainability, each of these they affect each other. So then our second one is this couch, which it did all right. It scored a 10 on both the safety and the functionality. And for the social impact, it was a 9. But with comfortability, cost, the environmental impact, the sustainability, and the aesthetics, it scored pretty low. So it wasn't as good as compared to other, excuse me, as compared to other chairs and seating arrangements. For number three, we have this little gumdrop looking chair. And it did fairly all right. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good. But it did all right. So with the cost, since it is higher, it is actually more it's more people can buy it. Um its environmental impact, which leads to environmental impact and the sustainability for being high as well, which it doesn't really cause any damage to them. But it did score low on the comfortability and the function, and the aesthetic was all right. And for the comfortability and the function, I scored it low because it doesn't really, it's not as comfortable and it isn't as functional as other seating arrangements. So then for our fourth one, we have this oblong, like this long looking seating arrangement. And it did fairly well because with safety, social impact, the function, and the aesthetic, they were all 10s. Um, but the cost, the environmental impact, and the sustainability were low, with cost and sustainability being 2 and 1 for environmental impact. And this is because the cost is high, there's more material required for it, and the environmental impact and the sustainability do get affected because it's more material that you're putting out into the world. And then for number five, we have this chair, which did pretty all right with cost and function being 9 and the safety being 10. For sustainability, a 7 as well. And this chair it's not as comfortable, but it does what it needs to do. That's why the function is a number 9.